our weekend is getting ready to go into over. I did a live on TikTok last night. And I didn't think I was going to be able to come live, but I definitely said that I will be trying to do another YouTube live as I go into the weekend. I'm trying to get a balance on how to juggle the lives for my different platforms. Facebook and Instagram is out at this point because, they are just, in my opinion, doing me and my social media family just a little bit too dirty. The whole Zuckerberg crew. So I have well, not I really have fallen back on my IG and my Facebook because I don't feel like me and my social media family on those platforms are getting our just desserts and our just due. So I'm getting more or putting more emphasis into YouTube and TikTok. And I'm still trying to work out the kinks as far as, what I know of my ex, formerly Twitter, which is probably my less active. I don't want to say less active because of the fact that I do have a pretty good following there compared to some of my other platforms like one or two of my Facebook groups. Um, yeah, my Instagram is a larger following than my ex, formerly Twitter. But I still, operate with that platform as well as now I've gotten into. So you all can also try to find me on WhatsApp as well because I'm pretty sure you all already know when it comes to these social media platforms, we cannot just put all of our eggs in one basket because that can be a make or break situation when it comes to, first of all, if we're trying to be monetized, if we're not trying to be monetized, if they, if we care or give two craps about whether, they strike us or give us these restrictions or violations or things like that. Because we all know when it comes to these social media platforms, apparently, um, freedom of speech is not freedom of speech. Let me just put it like that. Freedom of speech is not freedom of speech. You can say certain things and certain things they will definitely penalize you for saying um, and putting out on your platform, quote unquote, our platform. Yeah. Mhm. But in any case, I definitely got to come to my YouTube family again today. Y'all just don't know. I was like, I gotta try to get on YouTube today. I gotta try to do it live for YouTube today because it's been. I try to get on a live in, which I already put out a post about this, but I try to get a live in on my active platforms or my platforms that I take more seriously. I guess I want to say, for lack of a better phrase, once a week. Um, I definitely want to reach out to my social media in a one-on-one, quote unquote, live at least once a week. YouTube, my YouTube lives have more or less, which is why I'm here today. Even though I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to fit it in, I was like, no, 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 I got to get my YouTube family in this week, period, as far as a live, where they can hear from me this week in the live setting to see and know that your girl Valencia is still amongst the living, live and kicking, and um, still making it do what it do. Like I said on my TikTok live yesterday, I I have like a crazy weekend ahead, like, how the end of the summer, barbecues and things, it just, people are trying to like squeeze everything in, even if you notice on the interstates, the last few weeks of the summer is going super crazy with, everybody trying to squeeze everything in before all the good fun um, events and things, barbecues and things like that. And along with, we know that the children are going back to school too. And several jurisdictions have already gone back to school. Um, I think Monday or Tuesday, DC goes back to school. Some Virginia counties have gone back to school already. I know that because my grandchildren go to school in Virginia. Um, Maryland, I'm not sure, but I'll definitely be done found out by the time I get back on the live with any of my platforms again, because I'm just nosy like that, even though I don't have to worry about that anymore because all my children grew up and grown out of that phase, grew out of that phase of schooling and all that. Um, I still kind of like stay somewhat linked because of the grandchildren. And then, like my little cousins and things like that. I hear, what they going back to school shopping and all that sort of thing. So they help me stay in the loop of that kind of back to school stuff going on because, since my children were grown and out of school, I am just like kind of like oblivious. I mean, it'll come and go, and I don't even realize what's going on until the kids already back in school. Be like, oh wow, they back in school already, because when my kids was in school, they didn't go back to school until the Tuesday after Labor Day. So these early going back to schools in like mid to late August is like really shocking to me. I guess I want to say shocking. Well, maybe not shocking because they've been doing that for a little while. Seems like since my children started graduating out of, high school and stuff is when they started having the babies going back to school. Because it used to be across the board the Tuesday after Labor Day. That was just automatic. But now things have changed. Times have changed. People have changed. And these types of things have changed. So that's how that goes. And that's why I said I had to make an extra effort to come to my YouTube family today, which I'm so glad that I did. Um, because as y'all already know, I love all my social media family because nobody has to give you the time, the energy, or the effort to watch you, to follow you, or anything. And I'm going to say what I say all the time. Definitely am a firm believer in reciprocity. So you follow me, I follow you. I saw something on what was it, TikTok earlier today, where this lady was like, she was like really, really pissed because she had people that had started following her on her live or something like that. And then after her live cut off, they, I guess, unfollowed her or whatever. I feel girlfriend's pain for real, because it's sort of a slap in the face, for lack of a better word or lack of a better phrase, when you are following people and supporting what they're doing, and they're just playing games, and trying to get their numbers up, and then once they get their numbers to a certain point where they want them to be, then okay, now I don't need you anymore, so be gone, like. So I definitely feel her pain. And amazingly enough, I've spoke out about that before, and that came up in my for you on my for you page. So imagine, I was like, oh yeah, I definitely got to say this because I want to share her message that she giving out in that, because me and her is on the same page. You know what I'm saying? If I can support you and you don't support me, That is definitely a problem and a deal breaker. Just like, I've had family members that I've supported and helped and so forth and so on, that, when it came time to me needing anything, okay, anything, it was like I hadn't done anything. They are like, just it's a hurtful thing. Let me just put it like that. It's a very, very hurtful thing. And that's why I stress all the time when I come out on my social media platforms for my social media family. If you follow me, and because I'm just going to be real about it, I have a larger following and it's growing every day. So if you follow me and I don't follow you, first of all, please understand and know that it's not intentional. It's definitely not intentional on my part. I would want to definitely follow you back. So, because that's the least I could do for your support. So, if you notice that you followed me and I have not followed you, please, 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 please send me a message and let me know. And that's all it's going to take for me to reciprocate your support back to you, because that's just that's just how I move, and I haven't managed to amass the support um, on all my social media platforms that I have if that wasn't a practice of mine. Okay. And this has been a practice of mine for my whole 15 years on social media. I believe in you follow me, I follow you back. Or if I follow you, you follow me back. That's, I think, why um, I have received so much support from around the world, is just simply because I treat people the way I want to be treated, which is the way I was raised. You treat people the way you want to be treated. And I know when I follow people, I expect people to follow me back, because like that lady was saying on that For You TikTok live, she was like, and I'm getting ready to go down my list and I'm getting ready to unfollow all y'all this. And I was like, right on, girl. That's right. That's right. Because that's exactly what I do. And I've even made posts about this before. My avid followers already know. I made posts about this before, point blank, period. I do I don't want to say regular, but fairly regular going down of my entire friend and follower list, and people that are still sitting in my follower list or whatever. And I see that they still have me following them and they haven't followed me back. Oh, they be out of there. They be out of there. So I definitely feel where she was coming from, totally 100% on board with her. I forget what her name was. I think it was something like, I can't remember, and I don't want to, say the wrong name, because on these social media platforms, I might be talking about one person with that name, and it could be somebody else with that name. So I definitely don't want to, put out there the wrong name. But this lady, it was like, I already saved her post. Okay. I've saved it and done all the other, things that I wanted to do to it, but I also want to put it out there um because I feel the same way she does. And it's almost like she was speaking my own thoughts on her platform. So definitely giving her a shout out, and much love and support to her. And yes, I do follow her, and I'm going to find out whether she's following me back or not. I'm not sure, but you already know how that's going to go. Um, because she was so adamant about it. And I'm also a firm believer in you practice what you preach, because, reciprocity again is very, very important to me. Y'all, excuse me. I'm trying to see why my screen looks so dark. Why it looks so dark to y'all right now. I guess that's a little better. I hope y'all can see me a little better. I hope so. Because this is going to be my YouTube live for this week. Ending today, of course, is Friday, which I always try to. Yesterday, I did kind of like an impromptu video that I'm still, it kind of like got broke up and stuff like that and blurry and all that. So I'm going to have to run that back with y'all again. Um, and y'all probably have already noticed and seen me with my previously recorded notes that I put on those particular videos. Because sometimes, I get behind in, all the content that I'm creating, and I may do something, like for example, this live that I'm doing here on YouTube today. I may not get that across the board on all my social media until Monday or Tuesday. And that's where you'll see I'll put the message up that this was previously recorded. So that's how I'm moving to try to make sure I, first of all, keep the reciprocity going back and forth with my social media family, and that goes for whatever platform it is, because even though you know put off by the whole Meta and Zuckerberg crew, I refuse. I refuse to let all the people that have supported me there for 15 years on Facebook as well as IG just be gone. I'm giving them opportunities and messages to move over to my other platforms, but I'm starting to think some people, that's the only platforms that they have is those meta platforms of Facebook and IG. Um, I think in a good way, I have managed to spread my wings um, and learn these other platforms. And my other platforms are, very important to me. Like I said, my YouTube that I'm on now, I've gotten a whole lot more knowledgeable of it, to the point where, yes, I do know how to come on my YouTube once a week and give you all a live look at me, and I go to my subscribers and check my subscribers and see what they have going on. So, like I said, reciprocity is big with me. So, and then I get irritated because there are some subscribers that I think with YouTube, if their platform is not public, then I can't see who my subscribers is. So that's a message for my YouTube people. If you subscribe to me and you would like for me to subscribe back to you, please shoot me a comment or something like that. Because for the most part, if y'all notice, I keep my comments on. I don't turn my comments off, because commenting and having commentary with my social media family only makes me smarter. And who wouldn't want to be smarter? And it makes me wiser, and it makes me more efficient, and it makes me more support worthy of my social media family. So definitely feel free to shoot me a comment and let me know, hey girl, I'm subscribed to you and you ain't subscribed to me. And I will gladly, and it would be my honor and privilege to subscribe back to you. That's if you want to, though, because I know some people like to have their social media private. And that's fine, that's okay. I just want to have the message and my heartfelt feelings out here about the fact that, don't think that you're going to follow me and support me and I'm not going to return it back to you because that's just not how I operate. That is not, that would not be intentional or voluntary on my part. Like I said, I have a fairly, I guess, nice size social media following across my social media platforms. So it's not as easy as if you only have, like 10 followers. You can go down and just say, oh, these 10, okay, well, 10, follow, all the way up to 10. And then you followed everybody. I want to speak in this particular arena to anybody that has followed me and is supporting me or subscribed to me. Now, paid subscribers is a whole lot more different because you get, your accuracy of, the money is coming in. So you get a more accurate, I guess, calculation or gauge of who's following you. So this message that I'm giving out now is more so to my subscribers and followers that are not my paid subscribers, because that's where the waters get a little bit more murkier, because I keep it point blank honest with y'all. I have way more, and I mean way more, free subscribers than I do paid subscribers. So that's why I'm putting this message out for my followers and subscribers that are not paid. You may have to send me. I try to keep up with it as best as I can, but like I said, it's like when your numbers start growing like that, as far as your supporters and subscribers and followers and things like that, it gets a whole lot more difficult to singularly um follow people back. It gets a whole lot more difficult. The waters get a whole lot more murky. So that's why I'm coming out with this message to let anybody that's following me know. If I haven't followed you, first of all, please send me a message and let me know. Um, if you would like for me to follow you. If not, then it's just like the saying goes, then you don't have to do anything else. But if you'd like for me to follow you and you've noticed that you followed me and I haven't followed you, please, 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 please let me know. Shoot me a DM, shoot me a comment, shoot me an email, because on my YouTube, y'all notice I have all my email information and everything. So shoot me an email, whatever you feel like you need to do to get a message through to me to let me know, hey girl, I'm following you and you ain't following me back. Or I'm subscribed to you and you ain't subscribed to me back. I ain't got no problem, because to me that is constructive criticism and I need to act on it. And I would act on it because that makes me a better, just human being, period, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Just human being, period. I mean, how can you expect other people to be compassionate of you in your situation if you have no compassion for other people? And I'm noticing more and more that's a growing issue. People want other people to worry about their feelings, but they act like other people don't have no daggone feelings. And that's why I be having a lot of, let's just say, kerfuffles with people. Because if I can acknowledge your feelings and you don't feel like you have to acknowledge mine, We don't have to be on any type of level or any type of page, period. But don't get mad at me because I say to hell with you, like you said, to hell with me. How you gonna get mad? Your action caused a reaction. Just like if I was to do something to somebody, my action caused a reaction. How am I going to be upset because I did something, an action, and a person reacted to it? That's human nature to me. So, yeah, I do have quite a few little. I can think of one scenario right now, but I ain't even gonna go there. That's with a man that's supposed to be in my life that I mean you expect me to cow down and bow down to your situation and scenario, and you don't have any type of concern or even respect for mine. Y'all already know where that's headed with your girl Valencia. People can only treat you the way you allow them to treat you. And when it comes in that department with me, any person, let me just say person, because I ain't trying to single nobody out or single no particular group out right now. But I'm gonna give it. I'm Valencia like X say X gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. X gonna give it. But V's gonna give it to you. She's gonna give it to you. V's gonna give it to you. I'm about to give it to y'all right now. People will only treat you as disrespectfully, as inhumanely, as animalistically, as selfishly as you allow them to treat you. And we don't have to, whether we're male, female, whatever, we don't have to sit back and take abuse. And when I say abuse, please understand what I'm saying because this is coming straight from my heart. When I say abuse, I'm not just talking about physical abuse. See, people kind of like put things in individual boxes. I have a, I like to call it God given discerning spirit where I can have multiple things in multiple boxes. That's why I can say, well, I'm not just talking for women, I'm talking for men too. Because there are men out here that get abused just like women do. There are men out here that are great dads. I had one, so I know. Just like us women are great moms. Then you have some deadbeat moms, just like you have deadbeat dads. So, I like to mediate in a balanced opinion. I think that's why a lot of people say I seem older and wiser than my years, and they like and actually value, according to their reactions and their words that they say to me, my opinions and advice and so forth and so on that I give to them. Because for one thing, it's real. It's real, it's authentic, it's genuine. That's just who I am. They know if they are on the wrong side of things, I'm going to tell them, oh no, you're wrong. And they also know if they give me the same thing, oh no, Valencia, you wrong, you dead wrong, you right. And I've had them to do it, and you know what, you right, I'm wrong as hell. I'm wrong as hell. Let me fix this because I'm only human. I ain't no damn Jetsons robot or nothing. I'm only human. And I make human errors just like everybody else. The problem that I have is with people that act like they freaking perfect and they don't do nothing wrong. It's always they the victim in a situation. That just that just irritates me up under my daggone skin, y'all. It really do because nobody's perfect. So when I'm in scenarios like that, um, I give it's balanced and I want to say equal rapport and opinion as I possibly can. Some people blow it off. Those are the ones that I know. Okay, they get ready to run into another problem because ain't even trying to get what I'm trying to put down to them and get them to understand. You ain't the only mofo, with some dang on feelings. All of us out here got feelings. All of us. We're humans. We're not robots. And if you expect me to respect your feelings and what you think and how you feel, and you ain't gonna do it to me, deal breaker. Maybe sooner, maybe later, but that's a deal breaker for me. Because, like my grandmother used to say, Valencia, you ain't no better than nobody else, but ain't nobody else better than you either. Words of wisdom. God bless and God rest my grandmama's beautiful, beautiful soul. Those are little nuggets that I learned as a child. And my grandmama is resting peacefully in heaven. And that lesson is still here for me to pass on. But you can only pass it on to people that are receptive. And a lot of people are so caught up in the I mentality, me. It's all about me, mentality till I just be like, okay, well, none beats a failure but a try. And two things for certain and one thing's for sure. You can lead a person to water, but you cannot make them drink it. Another little tidbit that got instilled in me as a child, and even in my older age, that it's just so true to it's just insane. It's so true to it's just like insane in the best of ways. But these are the things and the lessons, the life lessons and conversations and things that I live and thrive on every day. And I think that's why people sometimes will call me like an old soul, especially when they don't know I'm pushing 60. Yes, 60. Hopefully, I have enhanced and made good on the legacy of those that came before me that taught me, first of all, to treat people like I want to be treated. Which takes me right back to y'all. If y'all are following me or subscribe to me and I have that to you, please definitely let me know. And that will be rectified. I will rectify that and I will follow and subscribe to you or whatever it is, like on YouTube, if you're a subscriber and I'll subscribe back to you if you have. I think now only I can only do that if you're on a public platform. So if you have a private account, I won't be able to do it. So don't hold me accountable for the rules of these platforms because if I could, follow you even in a private setting, I would. Um, so on that note, yeah, I wanted to also touch base on a little bit of this whole DC Trump takeover situation. I've had on my TikTok yesterday live, which was such a great question as far as why DC was chosen to be Trump's target. And as I said in that live, he chose DC to be his takeover target because, first of all, it has the vulnerability of not being a state. It does not have the same rights and privileges as a state or a city in a state. Because I think they were referencing like St. Louis and Chicago or something like that. And I broke that down. We had such a good live on TikTok yesterday. I just want to thank all my people that were, on my live yesterday on TikTok. Megatron, triple or 00, mainly D555 and misbehavior. We had such an intense and good, live yesterday, and everybody else that joined me on my live. Like I told y'all yesterday, I'm getting better at learning these whole live, different platform rules and how to do this and how to add this and how to take this away and all that other type of stuff. So y'all bear with me and I bear with y'all. I'm still in the learning process, but it will get better with time because as y'all know, I age fine like wine. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. That was kind of vain of me to say though. I'll let y'all be the judge of that. I'll let y'all be the judge of that. But so anyway, yeah, that's why I think personally that Trump chose DC as his first target. And like I also said on that live yesterday, the bully is always going to go for the most vulnerable. And as far as the 50 United States of America, DC is the most vulnerable when it comes to, calling in the federal Homeland Security, National Guard, Custom Border Patrol. We had a good talk. I've been rode that city from Ward 1 to Ward 8, and I can tell y'all the rundown on it, what's really going on. And like I said on my live yesterday on TikTok, no, it ain't got nothing to do with knocking down crime. What it's doing is pushing crime further away from the affluent, I want to say, neighborhoods and landmarks in the District of Columbia, like the White House, the Capitol, the Lincoln Memorial. Well, the Lincoln Memorial is kind of like on the Virginia side, but anyway, the museums, the areas where the tourism is the highest. They don't care about crime in the urban area of DC, which is like Ward 8, where my daughter was taken out of her home in the middle of the night and unalive. They don't care nothing about that neighborhood. They're not in that neighborhood. I rode that neighborhood and wasn't a National Guard service member, Border Patrol truck, nothing in sight, y'all. But y'all can catch them up there with the museums that they've even taken the poor homeless people and just totally dismantled their life further because they don't want the tourists coming into DC to see people homeless. Like, y'all think these tourists are stupid? Y'all think these tourists don't know that there's homeless people in the world? Y'all think that these people don't know just because they're tourists that there are crimes happening in that city anyway? Y'all, anyway, y'all, we're gonna have to cover this again because just like I said, I've carried this over from my TikTok live yesterday over here onto my YouTube, and I'm definitely going to open up another discussion here on my YouTube at a more opportune moment when I think it's going to be better and more conducive for more of us to be here and the word to get out because my TikTok live was like jumping yesterday. It was like really, really jumping with people yesterday. And, when I get my YouTube to that point, then yeah, we need to have a very vigorous discussion because, like I said, I like having these discussions. I like getting other people's feedback as well as they get my feedback and how I feel about things. And whether good, bad, or indifferent, you all's opinion matter to me because they make me smarter, they make me wiser, they make me a more compassionate person, they make me more intense and tenacious in my advocacy and my activism for things such as hunger and homelessness, which, you know, right now it's just a whole big old thing. I've had to find or try to reach out my tentacles to find my homeless people that, have been just totally just, their places where, I finally got to, connect with them and get them to trust me and, be able to put my hands on them and do for them and, them. They've been totally uprooted. So now I have to start 15 years to work all over again. But like I said, again, we'll talk about that again later on another um, live as well, because I'm still kind of like trying to calm down from that because I'm so upset at, some of us really care about what happens to people out here that are hungry and homeless and you know, wearing pretty much rags for clothing. Some of us really, really care. And this whole thing has just totally obliterated 15 years of me being able to connect with these people, um, gain their trust, be able to go and find them. Um, Even the people around them being able to gain their trust enough for I went and the person that I was looking for wasn't there. They would, oh, well, there's so and so. They, so and so today, or whatever the case may be. All of that is just totally obliterated with this whole DC debacle that's going on. But like I said, we'll have another live about that later on when I can pull, a whole discussion group together like I did on TikTok yesterday on my YouTube. And until then, I want everybody to have a very, very safe and blessed weekend, which is the main reason why I came on here live today is to let you all know. I hope you have a very, very safe and blessed weekend. And it is your girl Valencia coming back at you again live on my YouTube. And until the next time, like I said, y'all, we're going to have a really, really in-depth discussion. And I have to pick like the perfect timing and, space and everything for us to be able to have a very rambunctious, rigorous discussion about just, open general discussion, Q&A, and just, format of us some of us just dumping some of this madness that's going on in this country, at least of all this world, off our chest. Where I can have a fairly good number. So until I see y'all again the next time, y'all take care. Y'all be safe. And y'all have a safe and blessed weekend. It's your girl Valencia signing off. Love y'all. Bye.